Hi everybody, it's Julie. Welcome to Hello Monday. Today I'm making a really fun modern thank you card that I thought would be great for after the holiday season. And I'm going to start by taking the largest open circle in the polka dot stamp set. Now this is a very simple clean circle, and I'm going to start creating a baseline. So I need kind of a straight line for this, and I'm just eyeballing it. Now you could get really fancy and take out a ruler and measure everything, but I'm going on the diagonal, so even if I'm not perfect, the imperfections are not going to be noticeable and will only enhance the visual appearance of the card. And if anybody argues with me on that, well, then they don't get to keep the card. I'm not giving it to them. So now that I've got everything filled in, I've kind of got this really fun modern background, and the imperfections are not noticeable because it was on the diagonal and not, straight up and down. And then I'm going to take an acrylic block and press it against my tuxedo black ink pad, and then use a water brush to just create a puddle of color there on the edge of the block and flick it directly off that block onto my card surface. And this is a great way to get a nice controlled fine spatter exactly where you want it on your paper surface. So now I'm going to take this piece and mount it to my card front. I could have created the whole background directly on the base card, but I just had a scrap of cardstock there, and I was like, I'm going to try this, and if it works, then I'm just going to use it. So, and it did, so I'm just going to mount it. Debbie's ever going to be the wiser for it. So we're going to take a piece of craft cardstock. This is just a strip that I had laying around, and I was like, oh, this will be a perfect little accent strip on my card. That's why I'm always saving these things. You do too, right? And I'll just mount that to the card front. I've got a little bit of overhang there that I can trim off very quickly. And then I've die cut 3 thanks. This is a thanks die by Savvy Stamps, and I die cut it 3 times from some peppermint cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and use some micro pour tape to put on the front of that. And this is just going to hold it down for me while I put some adhesive. And then of course it dawned on me that I wanted to add some staples there with the tiny attacher. So I went ahead and did that because it seems like when I think of it as an afterthought, then it's not always convenient. So just in case, I'm going to get that part out of the way. And then I'm going to put tiny dots of mono multi glue there on the back of my die cut and go ahead and mount that into place. And the great thing about the micro pour tape is that it's translucent, so you can really see where you're putting things down, and it's removable. But you do want to be careful when you're lifting it up that you're not lifting that die up, because it's not completely dry at this point. I'm just kind of tacking it down there. And then I'm going to use wax paper to burnish over the top and just make sure I've got it all pressed down firmly into place, and it kind of spreads that glue out underneath. And then I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to add more white glue dots here. These are, from the mono multi, and then layer those die cuts that I did 3 times. So I've got 3 layers of cardstock there. And you could do more, but I felt that 3 layers of that basil cardstock was sufficient because Card Shop is nice and thick. So I didn't feel like I had to go much higher than 3 layers. And then just for a last finishing touch, I'm going to take some red stickles. And because the cardstock underneath is red, it just gives a really nice base coat. And I'm just going to apply that glitter glue over the top. And it was really hard to photograph it. It's a gray. We're having gray weather around here, so I couldn't get a lot of the sparkle to show, but it looks great when it's finished. Thanks for watching.